the screen with the likes, and I am going to share because sharing is caring. So just give me a second. Hello. How are you doing? Hello, hello. So I'm just sharing it out. It'll take me a minute to do that. And then we'll start talking about what we're going to talk about. How's your new year been thus far? Or are you someone that celebrates differently? Hello, hello, hello. There we are. Okay, I'm just about done on the one channel. The other channel won't take me nearly as long because it's a smaller channel. How are you doing? Hi. So we're going to talk today about the alignments. So this is going to be more astrologically focused. So if that's not something that you're interested in any way, then this probably isn't going to be the channel for you. Same thing. I also speak in terms of Christ consciousness, the Krystic way, living an embodied path. I talk about living your truth. For years, I worked with people who experienced trauma and had mental health issues that they were dealing with. And I have stopped doing that. This past year, I started moving into kind of the next stage, right? The next stage, which happens after you do your healing journey, which is when you're starting to step into your truth. And so that's what I teach now. And I also teach how to live in harmony with Mother Gaia, how to live in harmony with the celestial alignments. I have a tickle on my throat. So if you're into the moon and you're into astrology, but you want to learn true astrology as per the living sky as it is now, that may interest you. So there's a variety of things that I teach and talk about, but at the end of the day, I'm going to talk about all things that are aligned with the truth. I want people to stand in their light. I want them to shine. I want you to align with your truth, and I want you to live that truth. And so that's what I teach. I teach you how to do that. And that's what I do because I believe in living and, being the example. So I always start off my lives by sharing it because sharing is caring, is how the saying goes. But also, I can't expect to ask anybody to share my lives if I don't even share them, right? It's that kind of concept. Okay, so we're going to talk about the whole week and what we're looking at. Now, I spent a long time in December playing with the Living Sky app, and it's actually at theskylive.com is the site app that I use. I do use on my phone Stellarium, so if you're looking for apps to use to track the planetary alignments, you can look at the sky on your phone with Stellarium and it will give you, what you're looking at for constellations. So that's why I like it. But I like the skylive.com as a web page. When you're wanting to track or follow, I have it up constantly and every day I check it to see, the transitions that are happening. But in December, I spent a whole bunch of time tracking all the planets and their transitions for the entire year of 2026. So anyway, the Tuesdays lives are going to be a week look ahead. So it's going to look from Tuesday to Tuesday. So every Tuesday, we're going to have our new week, and we'll look at what's happening with the celestial alignments and how to work with the energies that are there so that we can start living in harmony with the planets, the celestial bodies, as we should with Mother Gaia, right? We should be living in alignment with Mother Earth as well. So this is what I'm going to teach you through True Astrology, True Sidereal and Krystic Astrology. So that's what I call, what I teach is Krystic Astrology. I will be doing a course on it in March. In March, I will be doing a big course on it. I might do a mini class or a mini course on it before then, just to give some general guidance on it. But there's a huge course that I'm planning to put on March 20th. So stay tuned for more details. Ooh, speaking of courses, so I have membership groups, and the membership groups that I have that are the Guardian Pathway and the Krystic Mastery Circle. Both of these membership groups, I do a live in each one of them every single month. Well, I make that live available to everybody else. And this month I'm doing a really special live for the Krystic Mastery Circle, which is the higher tiered group that I have. It's the highest tier. So it gets everything from the lower two tiers. But anyway, within that group, I am having a 3-day series, which is called Krystic Wealth Activation Series. I have a quiz that is available at my website if you're interested in finding out what your Krystic flame archetype is, so your wealth flame archetype. You can do that for free. It gives you, you get a little gift with it. Each response for the quiz, I look over the response personally, and then I send you the coordinating, like I'll send you a meditation, or I'll send you some gift of some sort. And I'll also send you to a web page that has a overview of your wealth flame type. So you can go and check that out. That's completely free. So there's no commitment to buy anything or anything like that. It's just a little quiz to have some fun. And to prepare you, though, for the Krystic Wealth Activation Series, which is January 13th, 14th, and 15th. So this could be a really awesome opportunity for you. I mean, I think most of us would like to become aligned with our wealth, right? We'd like to be able to receive the things that we are meant to receive. So the Krystic Wealth Activation, I have a little thing here. I'm going to read about it just to give, since we're talking about it. This might be. You might really be interested in it. You don't know. Okay, so the Krystic Wealth Activation Series, 3-day series that I'm putting on, it is about your wealth flame, right, and activating that. So you weren't meant to hustle, you weren't meant to grind, you were designed to just emanate abundance and be in a state of receiving, right? There should be this beautiful flow that exists for you. You should know that you're worthy, that you're deserving, you're open to receive, you're also giving in equal measures. So there's a really good exchange of energy going on. And that's how it's meant to be. There is meant to be a exchange of energy. So if you're giving, and you're not receiving anything, then there's possibly something some space that you're blocked in the receiving area. So is it that you're not sure, like you're not sure if you deserve to receive? Is it some martyr thing? Like what is it that's the block that's blocking that receiving? So this series is not about mindset though. Like there's a lot of series out there that, will talk about manifesting money. It'll talk about all of these, types of things, how to attract abundance and so on and so forth. This is not about mindset though. This is about your original soul design. Okay. So this is a 3-day immersion. Each day is about an hour and a half. We may finish a little bit sooner, possibly, but they're about an hour and a half. They are going at 5 p.m. Mountain time till 6:30 p.m. Mountain time. I had to think. I'm like, is it 5:30? Is it 5? 5 o'clock. So if you're in Ontario, let's say, then it would be from 7 until 8:30 on the 13th, 14th, and 15th. So if you're interested or you're in a position, like this is who it's for. It's for somebody that is ready to reclaim the field of their divine provision, right? So we're talking your quantum field. We want to release, this is for somebody that wants to release scarcity-based spiritual programming, which many of us have, wounding of that particular type. We want to be able to expand our body's ability to hold wealth, because a lot of times the reason why we can't hold the wealth that is meant for us is because our nervous system doesn't have the capacity to hold it. So we need to be doing things like breath work. We need to be, getting to the root of the traumas and peeling back the layers and getting to who are you truly. This is also for those that are ready to activate your oversoul's abundance gate. Okay, so that's a big thing, opening up your abundance gate. So you end up getting a Krystic abundance energy integration tracker. You get a body-based receptive power practice. You get an abundance gate activation ritual. And you get the 3-day Krystic teachings, and you get a closing mantra and download. So this is a lot of wonderful stuff that you get within this package. Like it really should be priced far above what it is. But this was a gift that I was giving to my Krystic Mastery Circle members. So I'm offering it to the general public for $44.44, which is the membership price of the Krystic Mastery Circle. So if you pay the fee of the membership or you buy a membership, you get to attend this class. So that's why I did that, right? Like, so anyway, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm going to talk about it a bunch as we progress through the next few days. But do go check out that quiz if you're interested in finding out what your Krystic wealth flame archetype is. It's completely free. It's at Anshara'El.com/KWA quiz, all one word, and you'll get a lovely free gift when you do the quiz. Okay, so let's talk about the alignment for this week. We're still in Sagittarius season. Now, mainstream astrology has already said that it's Capricorn season. They dubbed it that around solstice. But the sun, if you look at any live sky app or True Sky app, you'll see that the sun is firmly in the sign of Sagittarius. And it's going to be there for another 13 days, right? It doesn't move into Capricorn until January 19th. So in mainstream astrology, they have you thinking that it's Capricorn season, but it's not. It's still Sagittarius. We are going to have a second new moon in Sagittarius. In fact, I think the new moon is on the 18th. So it's almost at the end of Sagittarius season, but we had one at the very, very beginning of Sagittarius season, which is awesome. I'm just going to check real quick because the new moon is on January 18th and it is Capricorn season, January 19th. We had the new moon originally at the beginning of Sagittarius season because it became Sagittarius season on December 17th. And our last new moon was on December 18th or 19th. I can't remember which one, but It was right close to the beginning. So that's why we have the double new moons according to the actual living sky. Okay, so we're working with true sidereal and what I call Krystic astrology here. I don't see any reason not to work with the planets as they actually are in the living sky. To me, it feels like I'm doing something a little false, right? So we're going to look at the planet alignments for the next week. We'll do this every Tuesday. We'll do this and we'll talk about some other stuff because you know me, I like to talk about different things. And depending on what you bring to the table, we could talk about a variety of things. Okay, so this is our Tuesday True Sidereal Astrology Live. In this space, we orientate to the real celestial field and learn how to walk with the sky from one Tuesday to the next. This is not prediction. This is alignment. We're working with the living sky. We learn the sky so we can live in harmony with time, the body, and the earth, right? And this is important. This is how we're meant to live, right? These are important partners in our journey. I like it that way. Are important partners in our journey. So let's just take a nice slow breath, nice big one in, nice and slow, and out. Soften your shoulders, okay? Let your jaw soften too. Make sure you're not clenching. Take your tongue off the roof of your mouth. Relax. So here are the current anchors under today's sky. We have the sun in Sagittarius. We have the moon in Leo, and then it's going to move. I believe today's a Leo. Let me look at my line of, I have them all written down. Give me 1 second. Just have to get to my moon space. My moon. Okay, so January 8th, it moves into Virgo. So we'll have Leo and then Virgo at the end of this week. We also have a waning phase after the full moon on the 3rd of January, moving toward the third quarter, which is January 10th. So just before we have our next, like just near the end of this week of celestial time that we're looking at. So this tells us that illumination has already occurred because of the full moon, right? So that's what the full moon is meant to do. It's meant to bring things to light. It's meant to reveal things to you, like the truth. So that's the power of the full moon. And this week after, or the week following the full moon, is about refinement. It's about releasing whatever came up that's not in alignment with you anymore, and stabilizing, moving towards the new moon. Because we're going to be preparing as we go forward, not just for the new moon, but there's going to be other solar shifts that are happening, right? Or other planetary shifts that are happening. So Sagittarius sun is where we're positioned right now. And it's been positioned there since December 17th at almost midnight. And then it moves into Capricorn on January 19th at just shortly after 7 p.m. And these are my times, which are mountains. So it would be whatever time if you did if you checked our times. I don't know what time zone you're in. I'm in mountain. So Sagittarius in True Sidereal is clean fire. Right? We've been taught through mainstream astrology and through the distortions that are lined with everything or that are seeded into everything. We've been taught that it's like more of a chaotic fire. You can't tie Sagittarius down. They're freedom loving, they're brash, though Sagittarius does get the rap of being fun. It definitely gets the rap of being fun. But in mainstream astrology, there's definitely an element of so freedom loving and so truth loving that Sagittarius can be mean or immature or harsh with people. And that's not the true energy of Sagittarius. That's not what its energy really means. It's just what the mainstream astrology has distorted it to. So it's not a chaotic fire. It's not a frantic fire. It just is asking you some questions. And Sagittarius has certain things that are important to it. Number one, the truth. So it's going to ask you, what is true? No. No, you shouldn't. No. You should let his work remain his work. I don't know anything about the situation or anything about what's going on, but talking to somebody at their workplace, you could put his job in jeopardy. He's not going to be in a receptive space no matter what. He's going to be defensive. He's going to be ticked off that you're at his workplace, right? Like, so immediately you've put him in an energy that he's not going to be receptive to anything you have to say. Right? Like, imagine for one moment if you didn't want, nope, she left. Anyway, sorry, I couldn't give you a better answer. Okay. So the other question that Sagittarius asks is, what is worth aiming at? Remember, Sagittarius is the arrow and it wants to fire true. So that's why the first question is, what is true? What's worth aiming at? What is distraction? Because Sagittarius is going to have a hard time aiming if they've got all these distractions. Or the next question, what is distortion? If you're working with distortions or you're being distracted, your aim is not going to be true or direct, right? It's not aligned. So you need to be asking yourself, what is actually aligned with your mission, right? What is aligned? Sagittarius teaches trajectory. Sagittarius is about growth and expansion. It's governed by Jupiter, which is about expansion, right? And it expands what it has. So if you're working with a lot of chaos, it's going to expand the chaos too. So Sagittarius wants to be aligned in the truth, firing and aiming in the direction, aiming on target, right? It does not want to be looking in 10 different directions. It does not want to be unfocused or unclear. It wants one true direction. So if you've been feeling scattered, Sagittarius energy, that's the sun right now, can help you, right? Because this can create that correction that's necessary. So return to your highest truth. Just be honest. At the end of the day, the easiest way is to just be honest with yourself, honest with the truth that you know about the world and about life, and make, choices each day that align with your highest truth. And then just let everything else fall away. So we also have the moon in Leo right now. It'll move into Virgo later, which will shift the energy. Right now, the moon in Leo is bringing the emotional body to the heart. Okay, Leo is all about the heart. So Leo can amplify your pride. It can amplify feelings of sensitivity to being seen or not seen. So you might be like, oh my God, there's not enough people watching my live. Right? I feel terrible. And so that's energy that Leo can heighten. It can also bring about the desire for appreciation. But in its clean expression, Leo restores courage. So Leo's saying, stand on the stage, even if nobody's watching. Do it for you, right? Do it because you shine. Do it because your voice matters. Do it because the frequency and the vibration of your field, when you speak, even if nobody's listening at that moment, you're still creating waves and you're still sending that out into the field where you're still affecting it. Leo in its cleanest state also restores self-respect. Pride is a good thing if it's not overdone, right? It's like everything. Anything in overdone, even spirituality, those people that think that they need to reject the body for the spirit, that's not what we're here for. We're here to bring our spirit into our body, seated in the earth, and that's how you bring heaven to earth. And by working with the planets, Mother Gaia, and all the other celestial bodies, we work in harmony. And that's how we're meant to be, is in harmony with every living thing. Every living thing, in harmony with the water, the wind, the earth, the animals. Sorry, my dog. My dog. All right. It also, in its cleanest energy, is creative life force. Leo powers us to create, and to create from that childish joy, that wonderful space of, because that's the energy that Leo harnesses. The fire signs, often all three of the fire signs get aligned with the concepts of immaturity or childish like behavior and things like that. But that's not the true energy of the fire. The fire energy is joyful and playful and passionate. And yes, it can rage out of control if it's, if it's not tended to. And it can also peter out if it's not tended to, right? It can taper down and wisp away into smoke if it's not tended to. So, but fire energy isn't childish or immature. It's just because many people see that carefree joy or that passionate energy as aligned with a more youthful person. Like that playful energy, they see it as childlike. That super passionate kind of energy, they'd see it more as teen to early 20s kind of energy, right? So they might look at it and think that you're being immature as opposed to you're just in that specific type of energy. And this is the things that we have to clean and we have to clear from our field so that we're standing in the truth, right? So we're standing in the truth. So leadership comes from the heart, not the ego, is the other thing that Leo likes to restore, right? So the true leader is leading from the heart. Leo believes that they shine when everyone on the team shines. That's true Leo energy. So Leo sometimes gets the feeling that, or they get the bad rap that they're kind of telling everybody what to do, or they're trying to direct people, trying to control things. And in its unharnessed energy, it could come across like that, very much like a director, like you're doing something wrong, or like they know better. But the true energy of a Leo is he just wants they just want the best for everyone. They want everyone to shine in their best because they believe that if everyone shines, then the whole thing shines even more, right? It's not about one person, it's about every person shining in their right. So that's the true Leo energy. So Leo is asking you, where are you dimming yourself to avoid being judged? Okay. And where are you performing instead of simply being true? Okay. Sagittarius wants the truth. All the fire signs are more concerned with the truth. It's just the fire. The fire burns for the truth, right? So these are some important questions to ask yourself. We have a lot of fire energy today. We have Sagittarius sun, we have the Leo moon, and then we have Mercury, Mars, and Venus all in Sagittarius. And let's see, do we have any other fire energy? No, it's air, earth, water, air. So, but anyway, those are really big planets to have all that fire energy in, because they definitely affect more of our day-to-day life, because they're the closer planets to us, as a way of looking at it. They're ones that move or transit through the signs in a much faster rate. Mercury is the mind, Venus is desires, and Mars is forward motion and things like that. Hi, love, mwah. All the best to you, sweetheart. So hello. That totally lost my train of thought. So we've got all this fire energy. We got Mars. Mars is Sagittarius, so the forward motion. So fire days are not for forcing the whole year into one afternoon, because you got all that fire energy, right? Like you got all that fast energy. We're supposed to use the fire correctly, right? We don't want it burning out of control, and we don't want to forget about it at all, so it just turns to dust, right? Like we want to be in the flame and with a healthy flame. So your task today is to speak one truth that you have been avoiding, make one aligned decision that you have been postponing, create something simple that restores your life force. I'm going to paint today for sure. And then cut one distraction out cleanly without drama. So if you surf on your phone all the time, let's say there's a time when you really, really, really use your phone a lot, and you can pinpoint one particular moment, or you can just make it a half hour before bed. Start with a half hour before bed, no phone. Find something else to do. Make it an hour if you're already at a half an hour. Just keep extending it till you get to that 2-hour mark where you're not interacting with any blue screens or any devices before bed, because it does affect your sleep and wake cycles. So you're going to avoid today, with all this fire energy, impulsive posting. Okay, you want to just get clear and post from a spot of, I really want to share this. I have love for what I've created, or joy for what I've created, and I want to share this. Not just like, oh, do this now, right? You have to avoid proving yourself, because that fire energy can, and especially with the Leo moon, making a ton of new plans. Fire energy is good for making plans and starting new things. So you've got all that fire energy. We're definitely very much in the space of, I can make a lot of new plans. And then picking fights to feel powerful. We can do that some on social media. So watch yourself on social media today. I actually did realize today I see I'm not above it all. I teach, and I have to learn and listen to what I'm teaching, because it reminds me that I need to do that. So yeah, but I already was at the point where I was like, I didn't even post anything like super like, but anyway, it's getting people, some people didn't like, they're not understanding what I post for one. So, but that's not something that I want. I don't want to be entertaining that energy. And that's the Leo fire. That's all that fire energy, right? Getting into a little bit of a So fire is meant to clarify. It is not meant to scorch. Okay. We're also in the waning moon cycle. We had our full moon yesterday. No, on the 3rd of January, we had our full moon. Just one second. There. Okay, sorry. Distraction. Apologize. Hello. You could say hi. You could say hi. You could say who you are. You could. Check out the quiz that I have. Check out I don't know if you're on Facebook or if you're on YouTube, but I posted a thing about, or it's going out at some point today. It's in my schedule to be posted. I posted it this morning, but it's scheduled. I just don't know which time it's scheduled for is the best way to put that. But anyway, I'm doing a Krystic Wealth Activation series on the 13th, 14th, and 15th. This is going to be an awesome series. And it is so inexpensive, like everybody should do it. It's available at my website, but right now I have a free quiz that you can access there. And the quiz is at Anshara'El.com/KWA quiz, all one word. So KWAQUIZ at Anshara'El. So go check out and see what your Krystic Wealth Flame type is, and I'll send you a free gift. And that's it. That's all. It's just, and if you want to take the Krystic Wealth Activation, which I think everybody should, I just said that, but if you want to take it, you can do that too. Or you can join the Krystic Mastery Circle and then get that class for free because they're the same price. And it's part of the Krystic Mastery Circle. All right, we're going to continue on with talking about the alignments for the rest of this week. I was just talking about the fact that I forgot, I skipped over the moon part because I said at the beginning of the week we were going to have the Leo moon, and I talked about how that was going to affect us. But I skipped over the fact that at the end of the week on January 8th, we go into the Virgo moon. So when we shift from the moon, which is your emotional landscape, right? So when we shift from that fire energy in your emotional landscape into the earth energy of Virgo, what changes is that the focus shifts from that expressive energy to integration. So Virgo moons, they support, hi Edie, how are you? And hi Bjorn. Yeah, hello. Just wave to everybody. So Virgo moon supports discernment and refinement. Okay, Virgo likes to look at the environment and go, what's in alignment with me? What's out of alignment with me? What should I do? What shouldn't I do? Like it has all these things. Anyway, so it wants you to refine your environment. It wants you to refine your routines, your habits, that type of thing. Because Virgo wants to tend to your body and the nervous system. This is also with Virgo moon at the end of this week. So on the 8th of January on is Virgo moon, the beginning of the week, Leo moon. So it's about practical alignment and daily care, and also releasing what is inefficient, draining, or misaligned. So the Virgo moon is going to ask us on the 8th and onward, what needs to be simplified so your energy can function clearly. Okay, that's a pretty big thing. So what needs to be simplified so my energy can function cleanly? What small adjustment restores order and ease? It could be something very small. I made a small adjustment when I moved to the house that I'm in. So I'm somebody who in her adult years got diagnosed as neurospicy, and I was going to go somewhere with that. Give me a second. Because of my neurospiciness and my trauma and stuff like that, my environments haven't always been organized or tidy, to put it nicely. I've been very disorganized or even dirty at different times because of your mind shows your environment. So if you're looking around your house and there's a lot of clutter and there's a lot of garbage, that means that you're holding on to things. You've got a lot of clutter in your mind and you're holding on to things that you need to be letting go of. And that's not just mentally, that's physically. You're holding on to things that need to be let go of. When I moved into this place, like I've changed over the years, I've gotten healthier habits, I've done trauma work and shadow work and so on and so forth. But when I was moving to this house, I wanted to step it up a bit more. So I kept telling myself, everything has a place. If you put it in its place, you don't have to put it away. right? Because that's a big part of it, right? Many times we'll come into our house and we're carrying something and we sit it down and then we go do stuff and it's sitting there. And we might even walk by and go, that doesn't belong there. I should put that away. That's energy that you could just put it away and the clutter would go away in the house. So that's why I just told myself, if I just put it away right away in its place, then I don't have to put it away later. I don't have to touch it twice or 3 times or anything. And then I'll put things where I tie activities together. And these things helped. They really, really did. So you can retrain your mind. You can alter the way that you've been programmed, because it's not that any of us are inherently dirty people. Nobody just loves living in filth or loves, like that's not their inherent divine organic blueprint, right? That's not your soul, how your soul is, right? When you peel back all the layers that are there, nobody wants to be living in complete filth or overwhelmed with stuff, right? We don't. So there's something there that's keeping that stuff around you, something that's tying you to that stuff, and like the attachment that you have to them in some way, trauma, whatever it is. But as you work through those, you can heal yourself. You can reprogram yourself. So the Leo Virgo moon sequence teaches us to express our truth from the heart, good old Leo, and then to ground it through care, humility, and right action. Virgo is going to feel really good if you go help somebody, right? If you serve society in some way. And we're all meant to give back to society in some way. People think that means a service job. That doesn't. I have a organizational unit behind my computer here. So in my office, I have a day bed and this whole shelving unit. Whoever made that shelving unit served me. They served me in a tangible way where I have a physical product that has made my life better, because now I can have company come over and stay and they can sleep in a bed, right? So it doesn't have to be I'm working as a healthcare aide, bathing and feeding and taking care of the elderly. It could be I create organization systems. If somebody was really good at repurposing YouTube videos and stuff like that, that would be a thing that would be beneficial to me, right? It might not be beneficial to everybody, but it's beneficial to me. So that would be something that would be of service to me. So service doesn't have to be where it's like where you're thinking like a healthcare or stuff like that, right? It can be different. So humility and right action and care. And that care is for you too. So refine your environment. We're all about alignment. Are you Leo in True Sidereal, Edie, or are you Leo in like regular astrology? In mainstream. I'm sure I have your information somewhere, but unfortunately not on my, probably from way, way back. I might not actually have it. I'm kidding. Regular. So you're more than likely Cancer for your sun if you're Leo in mainstream, because we pretty much go back one sign in each sign. Leo sun and Leo moon. So then you would end up being Cancer sun and Cancer moon, which actually, when I think about you, hi Xandrian, when I think about you, I can feel that Cancer energy. But there's a whole bunch of other placements. So I always suggest that people go to masteringthezodiac.com and checking that site for your alignments. And then if you want a reading done, you can more than certainly connect with me, and I'll do a Krystic astrology reading. So that's where I take the distortions out of mainstream. So I don't talk about Gemini as being two-faced. I don't talk about Virgo as being like super critical, perfectionist. Like I don't look at astrology as a personality test. This is your soul stream. It's how your energy is meant to be expressed in this incarnation. So it's different. So we covered the moon. So we're talking about the waning phase. That was the other thing that we had to talk about, because we're still in that waning phase. We had the full moon on the 3rd. So right now we're in that refinement stage from the full moon. The full moon revealed truths, right? So what truth did it reveal that you can't unsee, right? What are you done entertaining? And what is ready to be released so your energy can be returned. So maybe you're doing, some activities or and they're not beneficial to you. Sometimes we sign up for things, we think it's great in the beginning, and then we have a hard time getting out of it and saying this isn't for me, or like I don't got the time for this. We feel like we're just almost stuck doing it. So don't be afraid to cancel commitments that you thought aligned, but really, really don't, right? The only thing that you have to do is be true. Just be true to you. Find out what your truth is and then stand in it and live as it. That's it, right? Okay, so this is a powerful week to simplify. I did that this year. Up to this point, I had a sporadic year last year. I made a ton of changes, going from working more with trauma and working more with people that were really in more earlier stages of their healing path. And, I always tied spirituality in with it, but I'm now teaching the Krystic way. I teach Christ consciousness. I teach embodiment. I teach the Krystic astrology. I teach you how to live as we should, right? The way that we're supposed to live. So we're going to do a little embodiment practice, and it can take longer if we want it to, but we're going to just see how it goes. I won't make you take, I'll just see how the energy goes. No, I'm kidding. It's a pretty quick embodiment practice. This is where we get tied up. I think sometimes we think these things have to take a really, really long time, but they don't. Sometimes it's just a little 3-minute thing, right? And 3 minutes isn't that long. It really isn't. So place one hand on your heart and one on your lower belly. It's your hara, your womb space, your sacral chakra. So hand on heart and hand on lower belly. Okay. Now we're going to take a nice deep breath in. And then out through your lips, nice and slow. Repeat after me. I choose truth that stabilizes me. And take another breath in. Release. Repeat after me. I choose fire that strengthens me. Another breath in. Out. Repeat after me. I choose direction that serves life. Now breathe slowly. Another. And one final. There. So this week's sky is teaching clean leadership, Sagittarius truth, guided by Leo heart, refined by Virgo. Okay, and the later end of the week, it gets that Virgo refinement from January 8th. So as you move through the days, let truth clarify your direction, okay, and let the body set the pace. I woke up right around the first of the month, and when I woke up, the first thought that I had that came in my head was, don't rush. Because I'm somebody that wakes up like that. And I used to, because I work from home, I used to wake up in the morning, make a tea, walk in, sit down, and start work. And I would work all day. I just work on my company because I love what I do. It doesn't really feel like work. I love what I do and I'm passionate about it. So I would just do that. This year, I started slowing down drastically. December, I really took some time to kind of change the way my day was organized, and I keep extending it and changing it. So this morning, I got up and I meditated, and then I did yoga, and then I painted, and then I had my tea at my desk and started working. So you have to make those little changes, right? Set your day up so that it's aligned to you and that it supports the life that you want to live. A friend of mine said, oh, I couldn't do what you do. Well, you can, you just have to restructure your day, right? So you have to go to bed earlier. If you want to get up an hour earlier and you want to meditate for half an hour and do yoga for a half an hour before you do whatever your normal schedule is to go to work, right? And so when you're at home in the nighttime, you're just going to want to go to bed a little earlier. That's all that's going to happen. You're just going to have to change your schedule. But we make time for what is important for us. And if we don't, it's going to be made for us, because that's what ends up happening is, you get that little, ow, oh, that hurts. Oh, that still hurts. Oh, a week later, that still hurts. And, and then you just, it goes away. Okay, we're fine. It goes away. And then it comes back, or it's this persistent dull ache, or it's this thing that you've been just dealing with forever, right? Someday that runs out. Right? Because your body's sitting there saying, listen, hello, something's out of alignment. You either are ingesting something that you shouldn't, or you're not eating something that you should, or you're doing something, not doing something, right? Sedentary lifestyle versus having at least, a somewhat active lifestyle. If you can't, have a super active lifestyle, at least incorporate walking. Go for one walk a day at least move your body once a day, do some yoga, something, right? It doesn't have to be, like a massive 2-hour workout in the gym, pump and iron. Like, it doesn't have to be that, right? Your life, you choose. Your life, you choose. Okay. You make the choice what aligns to you and how you truly want to live, providing it's not hurting anybody else, right? You choose. It doesn't have to be what it looks like for somebody else. So next Tuesday, we're going to look at the sky from January 13th to 19th, including the moon's next movements and the approach to the sun's transition later in the month. So on the 19th, the sun moves from Sagittarius into Capricorn. And on the 15th, actually, we have a movement of one of the larger planets. Saturn is moving into Pisces on the 15th of January. So that's a pretty big shift. And we'll talk about what that means for us, because Saturn is about responsibilities, right? So we'll look at that. What else are we going to look at? And that's it. Our Tuesday lives. This is what the Tuesday lives are about. The Tuesday lives are about checking in with the alignment so that we can live in harmony with celestial bodies and Mother Earth, right? Because that's how we're supposed to live. So this one's dedicated to True Sidereal, Krystic astrology, living in harmony with celestial bodies, including Mother Gaia. And I know I just said that, but I said it again just to be reaffirmed. Thursdays, on the other hand, we're going to talk about different stuff. We're going to talk about really Christ consciousness. We're going to talk about the Krystic path. We're going to talk about embodiment, living your truth. We're going to talk about a lot of the truth, right? And the truth beyond distortion. So it's going to be a different structured live. On the 13th, 14th, and 15th of January, I am teaching the Krystic Wealth Activation Series. It is available on my website under the events tab. I also have a free quiz right now, which you get a free gift when you take the quiz. You can check that out at Anshara'El.com/KWA quiz. KWAQUIZ, all one word. When you send in the results, I read your results, and then I send you information about the Krystic wealth flame archetype that you are. And I have to do a puzzle on my one live. Hang on. So that's available. I was going to be starting Bridge to Light Phase 2 on the 9th of January, but I have shifted that into February. So I'm thinking the 2nd of February. People are just not ready for embodiment. Surprise, surprise. I am shook. I don't know where these people are that are ready to embody their truth and live like the light worker or the guardian or the chosen one or the star seed, or live according to their life's mission, their organic divine design. Where are these people that claim to want all of that? Where are the people that, claim to be these, gurus that are living as they're supposed to live? Where are they? Where you go? Sorry, I'm just being silly. But we have to live it, right? We have to live it. Hello, hello. Hello, hello. Alrighty, so that's all for really today. We're just going to continue to track the sky step by step as it is. You can check any app and see where the sky is, right? So that's how we work here. We look at the true placements in the sky. I look at your true natal chart based on what planets were where, exactly where in the sky when you were born. I work with the undistorted. I'm back. The undistorted signs, celestial bodies, all of that. So stick around for all of that. And I will see you back here on Thursday at 1:44 p.m. Mountain time. So whatever time that is for you. If you're Eastern, it would be 3:44. If you're Pacific, it would be 12:44. So that's what time I'll be live on Thursday. I was a little bit late today, but I got tied up when I ran into town, and that's just that. Anyway, I love you guys. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you next time. Bye.